0 deaths across like his first couple of days there at the World Championships. And to me, it's like, I think the lane to focus down and actually kill off would be BB.
He didn't die until the Moscow 5 game in the semifinals, did he?
Exactly.
That was the only time he died.
Yeah, he died in basically exactly 1 game, and immediately there's a Twisted Fate being brought out there, and Lil Balls once again on Dr. Mundo. He played him so successfully as well. I actually like this a lot. Mundo's not the best ganker in the world until you pair him with a stun, because then you're guaranteed to land Cleaver. You get into melee range with Burning Agony, and you know, it's a really good combo. They can actually start pressing mid pretty hard here as TPA.
It's going to be interesting to see how Lil Balls deals with this one. He actually came out, he's put a post on his Facebook, he actually had problems versus Diamond Procs in Moscow 5. He really highly rated them, said, you know, I really, really struggled in the jungle because they took away all the buffs. The question is, was Cyanide watching? Are they going to try and do the similar sort of thing? Are they going to try and get counter onto Lil Balls? That's the question. So as what will he play in the top lane? Is it going to be a Katarina? Wow, that would be very strong. Such a strong snowball champion against the Twisted Fate will certainly keep him busy and will be able to burn Twisted Fate down very quickly. He's a squishy champion.
Hey, I actually asked someone about the Katarina versus Twisted Fate matchup, and in my experiences, Katarina seemed to have a really good time of it. You jump in there, do a bunch of damage, and walk out. But it was explained to me that Twisted Fate just locks blue cards over and over and just spams pressure at her the entire lane, and it should go towards TF's favor. Now, that's, you know, if Pekka can dodge the blue cards, get out of the way and whatnot, but it's actually not as bad of a matchup as you might think. As the players get better, they're sort of better at picking their fights and not just taking trades from assassins. We'll see if that ends up being the case. You know, again, my instinct was that, yeah, and yours as well, Katarina should be pretty good against Twisted Fate. It was, of course, picked as a counter pick in the first place. TF was locked in, and Pekka said, Katarina's for us.
We saw it with Messiah the other day when he got Twisted Fate, just how quick he can lock in that stun card. It's like instant. The minute he just wants to select, he knows. He's got it in his brain. It's just like, that's give me a stun card. Boom. Straight on them. I mean, within a millisecond, immediately picking straight in as well. It can possibly be the bottom lane, or the duo lane, we should say. It's not going to be the bottom lane. It could be the top lane as well. Graves getting locked in for BB as a dog. So who will be the support? Will it be the Taric? Yes, it will. So that bottom lane, you know, BB proved really at the World Championships. He, maybe alongside Wei Zhao, I would say is definitely the best in the world. He's
extremely good overall. He's been very good at positioning traditionally. And the interesting thing here as well is they picked like a very all-in sort of bottom lane here. The Taric and the Graves together. And there is another... Oh man, that is the second time we've seen Kha'Zix locked in. The first time I believe was Iceland. It was Iceland or SGS, I forget which one. I feel bad that I don't remember right now. But Graves Taric is super all-in. I mean, they can really, really punish something here. And it's smart against Blitzcrank as well, because he can pull in Taric, and Taric won't care.
Dump on him.
He's got 60 armor, 60 bonus armor at level 9. He won't take much damage here. It's really, really strong. And what I also like actually about Fnatic's lineup, though, is there's no huge threat for Vayne here. Vayne's traditionally been called actually a good lane against Graves because you can tumble away from Buckshot and never take that damage. You can tumble away from Taric as well. And Vayne will just scale out very, very well against everything here. She's happy to fight Lil Balls and just kill him in a fight, honestly. And no one else is going to be able to easily reach her unless she gets ganked out of nowhere by Twisted Fate. As far as the team fight's concerned, she's pretty happy here. Yeah, and Reckless posted last night, you know, how much he was looking forward to this one. This is, you know, he's a young lad, he's 16-year-old, how much he was looking forward to facing BB in the lane. The question is, will he get to face him, or will it be Stanley? That's the question. Final pick was Shen. Shen left to the last pick of the game. That's crazy. And this is actually, this opens up a lot of possibilities for Taipei Assassins. When they had Jax there, I was afraid for them because Jax is a really, really bad 1 versus 2, and Kha'Zix's actually pretty okay there. You can use the W there and just toss out spikes and last hit with that, whereas Jax has no tools there. Grabbing out Shen, now they can run a 2v2, a 1v2. Anything's actually really good for TPA here. Taric is traditionally very, very good at shutting down in a 2 versus 1 because you can zone with that stun. He's going to be pretty good in the 2-on-2 lane as well, just with the incredible burst damage between Taric and Graves. The Twisted Fate, that's going to be the big point for me. In pregame, I thought it was going to be about BB. I think it's going to be about Toys versus Pekka here because Twisted Fate's going to be the big playmaker. Well, there's a possibility for a 5-man dive as well. Oh, could get Lil Balls coming out of the jungle. Toys could get straight down there. Shen could come down. It could be a 5-man complete dump on a turret and take that turret down very quickly. Yeah, everyone here is a great pusher. You've got 2 globals. You've got split pushing. Graves and Mundo and Twisted Fate, all 3 are excellent pushers in general. You're going to see minions get eviscerated by this TPA team overall. And Fnatic, I don't know quite how to pin this team together because there's a lot of different things going on. You've got a Vayne hyper carry, but the team's not protect the Vayne. You've got Katarina for amazing area of effect, but no AoE crowd control to lock anything down for her. Pekka's actually running teleport on Katarina. So he's actually trying to play a roamer and catch up with Toys. When Twisted Fate leaves, he's going to show up as well. We saw that with the teleport Karthus a while back on yesterday, where he would show up and follow Twisted Fate's ganks. He's going to play the reaction here.
So there it is on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. On the left-hand side, it is the Taipei Assassins. Everybody recognizes those uniforms by now. And, of course, Fnatic on the right-hand side. A very young Fnatic team as well. You know, Reckless in there. He's only 16. Cyanide's still got that baby face, hasn't he? He's always had that baby face around him. But, yeah, they are here, and I can see they are live. There's no pauses, so we are going to get things underway. Freak, what are your predictions from this one? The team comps out there?
The team... as far as Champions Select is concerned, the team looks better from Taipei Assassins. It just feels more cohesive, and they're going to be the team to make all the plays. Now, Fnatic's got a lot of individual all-stars and good individual champions. If they react and get every counter gank perfect, then they'll make it, but on a blank slate, I like TPA here.
It seems to me that Fnatic have got a team, if they can get that snowball going, they will be very, very strong, and they will completely dominate Taipei Assassins. But Taipei Assassins could quite easily just outfight it. I mean, how long are they going to lay? Who wants to stay longest in the lane phase? That's the question. But if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, it is Fnatic on your screen right now. The blue team, the Season 1 champions at DreamHack. They managed to pick that one up. But the new champions, the new holders, Season 2 champions are Taipei Assassins. And they're facing off against each other in a best-of-3 here in the winner bracket.
He's going to flash, rocket grab, hits Lil Balls. That's going to be a push on. He's flashed away, but the Rupture lands. Mistake, taking a lot of punishment. He's going to walk back. Nothing for nothing, but 2 flashes burnt down for just the 1. Pretty good start right now for Fnatic.
Yeah, the Ignite went down as well, but it seemed a little bit of a split target. They kind of hooked onto Lil Balls, and then they switched up. Lil Balls already flashed away. They thought, okay, let's get mistaken. And it's like, we can't quite get the same target at the right time. Fnatic may well use this one. They realized that those 2 members are going to back off. Are we going to see an invade here?
Well, they're certainly walking back in. They're looking for another push. Any team with Blitzcrank is going to want to do that in general. And now Fnatic's been spotted here. TPA knows they're invading on. Soaz does see BB. Toss out little spikes right there. He's going to be fine with that. And I think it still is up to them to deal as much damage as possible and steal away something in this jungle. They got the ward on the Lizard buff. They could pull that back and steal that away and give that one very easily to Cyanide. That's oh, wow. Early pink ward put down. Cheer for Stanley making that kill happen. A ward is down. A ward is down. You can see the 1 for Shen at the bottom of the screen. That is a good move. First blood going to Stanley.
First blood, first ward blood. So it is going to be the Wolves starting out for Soaz and PK. So that means the junglers are going to be down in the red buff. Interesting to see how this has developed, actually. We've been seeing a lot of those top laners picking up the extra experience rather than the bottom laners. You can see the leash coming out there from Rickles. Reckless, I should say. I've been saying Rickles wrong all the time. I swear to God he used to spell it differently. As it is, BB going towards the top lane. So it's going to be that 2v1 transfer. How is this going to work out then? Soaz on Kha'Zix versus BB and Taric.
I mean, Soaz has a chance here just because he's got Void Spike and it will deal damage. It will help him farm lanes. But the problem is he's not going to get any sustain early on. He's not going to do all that much damage. And his Void Spike is area of effect as well. So just by last hitting, he'll get hurt. Here comes a gank. Looks like Cyanide going for an invade. Cyanide
going in towards the invade. Is it going to be at the right time? He's going in towards that bush. He hasn't got vision. It's already gone down. He's just a little too late. I wonder if he realizes just how close he was, though. He also had Blitzcrank coming up to help him out. They are going to pass each other. Lil Ball's going in towards the mid-jungle there. They ping it straight away, and immediately PK backs away.
Yeah, so early on, the advantage is going to TPA just a little bit. You can see they're up 300 gold. They're outlanding. There's Pekka taking a little bit of punishment there. You saw the gold card and a wild card from Toys. And he's making that pain happen, absolutely. And the difficulty as well is if Pekka ever goes in for a press, if Lil Balls is there to counter gank, it's almost certainly a dead Katarina. The cooldown on Shunpo is pretty long.
You know, I actually pity our cameraman right now because a Blitzcrank, a Twisted Fate, and a Katarina, there's just so much burst that could happen. It's going to be so easy to miss things. Lil Balls making a wander in towards his top lane. Could it be the 3-man stack? You can already see Soaz completely caught out of position. He has got Cyanide with him. Cyanide coming up there. Oh my word, we've also got Toys stacking up there. It's going to be a 4-man dive on towards that top turret. PK needs to be following this one. He needs to react to this one.
He can react.
He has got teleport, but is it going to be too late? I mean, by the time that teleport comes down, Soaz could already be down.
Well, Soaz has leap and flash. He can pretty much juke both of these stuns, and here it comes. He's going to get stunned first. 2 stuns in a row. Soaz flash is not going to matter. It's a knock-up, though. Can they get anything on the BB? Here comes Pekka. He's going to pick up Mistake. 1 hit to go. 1 throw. There it is. Now there's the reset. He's going in towards BB. Oh, my God, the damage. Double kill. He's moving in for Lil Balls. Triple kill.
No.
Cyanide picks it up. Yes, it is. And there you go, Fnatic. 3 to 1 right here.
That's the exact thing they needed to do, and Soaz just called that. He just stood still. It's like, yeah, I'm going to die. Didn't use his Ignite, actually. Could have used his Ignite, but very good work by PK. PK teleporting in there, getting that double kill. So it's going to be 2-0-1 for that mid laner. And, of course, Toys didn't get anything. He got, actually, tell a lie, he got an assist out of it. I thought he managed to avoid everything. Shen, obviously, not up to level 6. How is that bottom lane working out? Because he's been on his own down that bottom lane. It's going to go to Reckless. Reckless just about avoiding it, having to use the cleanser and the pot. N-rated just keeping him away. So very close. Stanley doing work in a 2v1 situation.
Yeah, you're seeing a 27 to 23 minion farm advantage. So this lane swap is going pretty well for Reckless because he's getting a lot of farm here. So as 1v1ing up against BB, actually taking a bit of punishment here. Mistake coming from the side as well.
Mistake was trying to come in from the side, but Cyanide was there. Quick dazzle on towards Cyanide. Cyanide's going to continue following this one. They want to try and see if they can get a rupture down, backs away instead, and continues his pace. Right. Let's see if things are going to settle themselves down. No, because Cyanide is going to stick in that top lane. Cyanide already up to level 5, by the way, in the jungle because he picked up all those kill and assists early on. It's given actually the jungler a massive advantage, and that's why he's going to stick around lane. Soaz, though, struggling out here. We are seeing little balls now coming up towards it. They're going to spot him. He's going straight past the ward. It's going to be a 3v2 in this top lane. They've already got the dazzle on towards Cyanide. Cyanide tries to avoid the damage. He's got a double buff. He's going to go down, and the double buff picked up to BB, and BB now absolutely going to be very strong in that lane. That's going to cause a lot of problems for Soaz. He's only at level 3.
And that's really unfortunate. What Fnatic was trying to do there was push out that top lane, get it to the turret, have it reset so the minions would come back down, go back towards Soaz's turret so we could sit in that 1 versus 2. Fnatic is okay holding the lanes in these numbers, have the 2-on-1 on the one side, the 1-on-2 on the other. They just wanted to get the position a bit better. And it was a great move by Lil Balls, knowing as they're pushing, they're going to get closer and closer to the turret, farther and farther from safety, and it made it a very, very easy gank. Great read by TPA and a great gank by Lil Balls.
So we're already seeing some items coming out here. You can see that Athene's and Holy Grass is going to come out for Toys. He's immediately picked up that chalice. It's something that the Asian teams have been doing pretty much. We saw it predominantly through the Season 2, and honestly, it's turned, everybody does it now. Blue ward being placed there, so they're expecting to go for that one. Lil Balls, again, looking like they're going to stack on towards Soaz, really putting the pressure on them, almost like you do against COG. You just stack up on towards that top lane. Soaz already sniffing something's up. He's sticking around, though, hanging around. He has got his jungler not far away. Just trying to see teleport is not up and available. Are we going to see Toys heading up? Toys, yes, here comes Toys. You can see him heading up the minimap. He's heading straight north. He wants to get involved. And actually the top lane, it comes up to keep him busy in the mid lane. So they can't pick it, can't come around to this one. There goes Destiny. Toys heading in there, tries to come down. Rupture there, though. Cyanide defends it nicely. They sniffed out that trouble.
Yeah, and so as having to burn Flash is part of it, but still a very, very good escape. And of course, Stanley not really losing much time here. 1v1 against P.E.K.K.A. is a much better matchup than 1 versus 2 against Vayne and Blitzcrank. So as far as the lane swaps are concerned, it's a pretty smart move from TPA. The difficulty is Reckless has no pressure on him. Yeah,
blue buff now going to be available, and you can already see them stacking in around there. Taipei Assassins very much ready and waiting to steal this one away. BB, of course, with that blue buff on him because he stole it away earlier. I'm trying to think what time they went for it.
No, that would have been really
first?
Late.
They went for red first,
yeah,
didn't they? So that's actually going to be late, yes.
Yeah, he grabbed red and tried to invade blue. It's going to be a little while. And we'll see if Fnatic responds to that. They won't really know that it's warded or that TPA is trying to steal that right away. But they're going to have to rely on their spidey sense and know TPA, if they're smart, they would invade here.
And as it is, Fnatic have that ward up towards the blue. Cyano's going to pick up that red. They realize the blue will be available. There's the blue spawn, and they've just actually pinged on it. So Fnatic are looking maybe to go for an invade themselves here onto Taipei Assassins jungle. 3-2 if you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Season 1 champions Fnatic versus Season 2 champions Taipei Assassins, the team with probably the greatest name in League of Legends currently as well, I think.
It's a good name. It's pretty strong overall. It tells you where they're from, and it's pretty damn intimidating.
It's pretty damn intimidating. Here we go. Fnatic on the invade. They are passing a ward, though, so Taipei Assassins are going to be ready and waiting for this one. N-rated tries to go for the grab, and it was so close. They pulled it away. That means they realize that Taipei Assassins are there. Do they want to fight this one? Doesn't look like it. They're going to let them take it.
Yeah, they pinged out where Twisted Fate was coming over. They saw that Tarek and Graves had lane swapped after killing off that turret, and that meant TPA was happy with their initial goal of, okay, 2v1, kill the turret, then swap back. And they got their goals in there, and then they knew, Shen ultimate's still up, Twisted Fate might arrive, and they left that one alone.
And we should point out the lane switch has come back through here, so we can see Stanley back in that top lane against Soaz. The two players that do respect each other heavily are going to get to fight off against each other. As it is, you can see Soaz has come out worse off against Stanley, or more to point against the duo lane, I guess we should say. But how is it going to work out now? How are they going to level themselves off? In terms of CS, the mid lane, PK is miles ahead at Toys at the moment, 76 to 57. That's because Toys has been going around trying to pick up those kills. And of course, PK managed to get those kills in that counter fight. And teleport is available again. So next time Toys goes looking for that kill, he's going to have PK right there with him.
Yeah, and the difficulty here for Fnatic in general is, while they've got P.E.K.K.A on the one side who's doing a very, very good job, a little bit of pressure for the top lane, and actually P.E.K.K.A is going for the roam as well. I don't know if this gang's going to work necessarily onto Stanley. He seems tanky.
He does seem tanky. He's in that tri-bush, thinking maybe, is it going to be time enough? Yeah, and Stanley is already tanky. He's got the Ninja Tab and he's immediately backing off because they're not too sure where exactly Toys is. They spotted little balls, and
he's got an Oracles. You know what that means.
It means he's going ward hunting in towards that tri-bush.
And here it comes. He's found one. Little balls. There's a swing. 1, 2, and 3. That ward goes down. At least the second ward TPA has killed this game.
Voo zealous for wards. Whatever next in League of Legends. That's what I ask you. Reckless down the bottom lane. You can see the farm between them. He's actually kept up pretty well, despite that lane that's been switching around. There is a three-man stack, down that bottom lane. You can see both teams, junglers, pretty much parallel to each other going up that river. PK continuing to out-farm Toys in that mid lane. Probably the first point I've ever seen out-farm Toys, actually.
Hey, he's doing a really good job of it overall. And part of that is, Twisted Fate is not known for that early lane phase, to be completely honest. And P.E.K.K.A did a very good job of controlling that and saying, I can outfight you, I can out-roam you, I can make all these moves that you can't, and just trying to spam everything down. Well,
it's looking like a possible dragon attempt here. And Lil Balls is going to see that ward straight in the back there and immediately realize
it's gone.
That the ward has gone down, and they are going to start out on Dragon, but you can see that Fnatic are ready to fight for this one. Cyanid's going to get a ward of his own there, and then Rated, they're keeping them, the AD split. BB on his own down the bottom there. They have split off, so immediately everyone backed off. They realized that Fnatic were ready and waiting to engage for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, even still, though, it's a 5-on-4 at worst, because Soaz did not have a way of getting down to that Dragon fight, whereas Stanley can simply stand united. So, it's a risky situation, though, that Fnatic, they've got not great map presence right now because they can all show up. So
would it be worth it, the fact to maybe fight for the Dragon in possibly a 5v4, or let Soaz just free farm in that top lane? BB getting hooked in there, actually condemned on the wall as well, but immediately gets knocked away. Reckless in all sorts of trouble, has to ultimate away, and immediately N-Rated's going to get turned on. BB continuing chase, Reckless in all sorts of trouble now because Toys comes down, and that is going to be a complete gang. PK had to teleport down there, uses his teleport, not in the right place at the right time. Didn't use his ultimate yet, though, could go towards Mistake there, hasn't used it. Cancelled straight away and immediately backs off from that one. And Taipei Assassins just back off. Are they going to go for the Dragon? They're going to try and force it, but Fnatic are not going to let them. Cyanide and PK continuing to follow Toys up this river. Everybody else from Taipei Assassins running parallel with them, making sure they do not allow them any objectives. While that did all happen, Shen obviously came down, and that does mean Soaz is free farming on that top lane and working on that turret.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation that Fnatic really wanted. If you ask about the Dragon fight, what Fnatic would want is to force the Shen ultimate and then immediately run away and then let Soaz push top lane. What happened there was they forced the Shen ult, but the problem is Reckless overcommitted on Vayne. It seems like he forgot that he was going to get stunned by Taric, taunted up, Dr. Mundo showed up. It seems he wasn't prepared for so many people to show up behind him and kill him off.
Oh, you can just see the burst of damage. Just see Toy's health just drop quickly. It's like, PK's quickly shunpoed onto him. And the damage coming out from PK in that mid lane. So he's gained himself a bit of advantage, but that worked nicely in Toy's favor. Toy's picked up a kill there, something he needed. Reckless, though, keeping up in farm. How dangerous is this? Reckless on Vayne, keeping up in farm, despite the fact he's 1-0 down. 3-1, though, for BB. That's a big advantage, Bloodthirster build.
It's a 1,600 gold difference between the two of them because of those kills, because his team has a Dragon kill. It means that, despite the minion kill difference, it's a big lead for TPA, and especially for BB.
And there is the Dragon kill coming in. First one of the game for Fnatic. And Cyanide feasts it down.
That is actually a really, really big deal for them. They need to get the gold on everybody, and they especially need Soaz, I think, to follow up second here. That, P.E.K.K.A is having a very good game. He's close now to Abyssal Scepter. Reckless having a good enough game on Vayne, and that he's keeping up in farm, and that's fine. You can rely on minion kills and still be very effective on Vayne. But what they really, really need is to get Soaz into a meaningful situation as well. He's gone Brutalizer. He's trying to deal damage in his build, and damage is so gold reliant, he needs that.
Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see N-Rated taking down very low. I don't think there's going to be enough to finish him off. They're going to work on towards Mistake, but it's BB. He needs to focus on BB, of course, with that Bloodthirster. Will be able to just regen and lifesteal everything back there. Toys picking up the blue buff. Katarina heading down south. So let's see where PK goes. Is he going to go? He's going to go the other way. He's just going to pick up the Wraith. Lil Balls is going to come into roads it, and he will find a ward if he goes to the right-hand side.
It's a good read by Cyanide. He knows he's there. He's ready to counter gank.
Toy's actually being kept busy in the middle there, which is why he's not going to be available to come and join this fight, because they're fighting in the mid lane. Meanwhile, you can see that continuing to chase, it's going to be Reckless that just gets absolutely obliterated there by BB. The damage so strong there. Collateral damage just annihilating him where he stood.
Yeah, and that's the really scary thing about that Turret Graves combo, is you have a giant armor shred stacked on with a bunch of physical damage burst from the Graves together. It's probably one of the best synergies for a kill lane, and you can see just how much damage they are able to put together with that.
So 0-2 Reckless. How is he going to deal with this one? He's going to stack up that Phantom Dancer. He's hopefully trying to get it as quick as he can. Lil Ball's actually there on Cyanide. Oh, he's just too little, too late. Wouldn't realized it if it had just gone towards it. N-Rated actually in trouble here. He's going to come around. He's going to get the Power Fist on towards Lil Balls. Hasn't used the hook yet. Hook goes wild there. And N-Rated missing out that one. Shen, Stand United used by Stanley there. That means the top lane is going to be available. Yeah, but Soaz hasn't put any real pressure on the turret yet. So even though he's had his lane opponent leave lane twice now, we're not seeing Soaz gain much from it, unfortunately. He's finally got some time now, a little bit of damage there. The ping goes off. Looks like Toys wants to show up. He is going to come in for teleport. I think he's rolling mini, just putting some pressure and harass on towards Soaz, not so much going for a kill, just making sure he defends that tower. And that means it will be available pretty quick. It's a pretty quick cooldown on that ultimate. And we haven't seen too many hooks landing currently from N-Rated. How much, when we start moving into late game, we have the pressure on the mid turret here, how much late game is that hook going to work out for them? It's going to get scary pretty soon. Now, the one good thing that Fnatic has is a lot of burst damage. When the Blitzcrank pulls someone, Soaz gets a free isolation. That's actually really good synergy to point out here, is Kha'Zix is going to get bonus damage on his Q, on Taste Their Fear, every time someone's Blitzcranked out. And when you combine that with Cho'Gath and with Katarina and Vayne, and even the rest of Blitzcrank's hit, you've got a lot of burst, and Katarina's going to get the reset. But N-Rated getting jumped on here. N-Rated getting jumped on again. Is it going to be the damage? Immediately turn the damage towards Fnatic there. But wow! XPK comes in there. Reckless is going to pick up a kill. It's a double kill for PK. PK 4-0-1 now, exactly what he needed. And of course, Toys had just used his ultimate, so he couldn't come and join in. But PK might get caught out in lane here. He's going to try and get away. Has to Shumpo towards a ward. Very nicely played by PK. And that is why you always carry multiple wards as Katarina, because moves like that save your flash. It's a really big deal. Crazy, crazy stuff. Bottom lane getting pressured now. And that's actually exactly what Reckless needed. Reckless needed a little bit of a reprieve because he'd been focused on that bottom lane. You can see Lil Balls coming in there. And wow, condemned away. The hook missing once again from N-Rated. That top lane also just back towards farming. Soaz pushing pressure on there. And keeping Stanley busy. Keeping him pressured on towards that turret and Toys. His ultimate will be available shortly. Let's see where he's going to go with that one. Ping goes down. That's why they put that ward up there as well. Keep him focused. Yeah, it's actually incredibly important to keep a ward in Twisted Fate's lane, because you'll see him run back, clear minion wave, and run back towards his turret and off to the side. And you need to be able to watch that and see which way is Twisted Fate going, which lane is he going for. The ultimate is short enough range. He has to shoot, he has to walk toward a lane and teleport it. And just getting any kind of tell there will let you know which way Toys is going. Not like the old days of 2010 when they could just go everywhere. Now I'm in yours. Also, everyone slowed for 8 seconds, and my gold card is an AoE stun. Oh, they're going to dive on towards Lil Balls. This could be an Oracle burn. They're just absolutely shredding him down, and that is a 5-0-1 PK. This is the danger of having a Katarina in your team. He can so quickly absolutely snowball ahead. And now they're going to catch him. They're diving on towards Toys. They are going to catch on to him. Soaz had to use the stun card on Soaz, and now that means that surely the middle turret will go down. Mistake is going to come around. Their wild card's going out. It's not going to be enough. Fnatic do pick up their first tower of the game. It's 2-1 in turrets. Taipei Assassins still with the advantage, but you can see Fnatic slowly but surely clawing their way back into this game. Yeah, they're making a lot of good moves overall, and Xpeka is doing an amazing job as Katarina is showing up to these fights constantly. He had 2,600 gold in the bank just waiting to buy items. The Abyssal's going to come out. I'm expecting Death Cap or Zhonya's next for him. Either way, Needlessly Large Rod is going to be the next pickup here, and he's going to keep being beastly. And the huge difficulty is he has so much Magic Pen, he's still doing true damage to Toys. He's going to do true damage to BB. He's going to do true damage even to Stanley at this point. Nothing's mitigating any of the damage he puts out here. I'm going to test your knowledge of the Champion Showcase now. What sort of build are you expecting to see Soaz pull out here? Soaz, all right, Bloodthirster plus Brutalizer is probably the standard one here, just a lot of stacked AD. At some point he'll get resistances, but I'm guessing Bloodthirster into probably like a GA at this point. Because generally speaking, as a melee character, you're going to have to get Guardian Angel at some point in the match. Oh, there goes another ward going down. Cyanide picks that one up and immediately reacting, puts a ward down of his own. Dragon Timer will be up shortly.
1906.
That's going to be the blue hook. He's caught it, and that could be the blue steal. It will be the blue steal. Cyanide in there. They put the card down. That taking it away from Toys is a big, big deal. The cooldowns required for that ultimate could be a big thing. Fnatic immediately turn it on towards a dragon. They're going to try and hook. It's Toys they spotted. They try and get in there. They can push him away.
But that's enough push they needed. Now, he had burned his smite, but Cyanide still has Feast, and that's going to be enough for them. They've pushed Toys back far enough that they've got complete control over Dragon. It's theirs for sure. And this is really, really cool. What Soaz has done is he went for the Void Spike evolve. And that makes the 3 spikes shoot out actually apply his passive, which will deal bonus damage and slow. And with that, he's also evolved Wings, so he's able to jump in 900 range, throw out Void Spikes, another 600, 800 range, slow people he hits. He's now the big initiator here who can jump in there. And the thing is, with evolved Wings, his leap resets on killer assists, so both he and Xpeka will constantly reset their cooldowns throughout a fight. If they can get that first kill, they'll keep going through.
Yeah, and the question is, it's just how smooth they call out those targets. Oh my word, look at PK, just gets in there, does one quick burst of damage and shreds 3 of them down, half their hit points. That is danger for Taipei Assassins. This is surely the time that Fnatic need to try and push the pace.
Yeah, and this is so good for them too. You know, they've taken a lot of the objectives here. They're pretty much tied up in gold. They're going to get another ward kill here. Cyanide has not fallen in quite a long time. And you're just going to see a very scary, scary situation here. And yeah, you're right. I think they kind of want to push out a little bit here because, actually, you know what? I take that back. They don't have good turret killing outside of Reckless on Vayne. And Reckless, he's got Phantom Dancer. Maybe he's okay, but like, I think he wants to keep farming because he's Vayne, and why wouldn't you?
He wants his Infinity Edge. That's obviously what he's going to build towards. He is farming down that bottom lane. He is obviously behind on BB at the moment, but he's doing a good job at keeping them farming. And more to the point, the rest of Fnatic are doing a good job at keeping them so busy that Reckless is buying the time on that bottom lane just to completely farm out. BB's keeping up with him, though. BB still 20 CS ahead, obviously building up towards that Phantom Dance now. He's going to be a bit of a beast, and surely the target for Soaz and PK to dive on.
BB is the really big one, and the difficulty for them here is BB has just now picked up a Negatron Cloak. That was the one item he really, really needed to survive Katarina. Now, it slowed his damage output a little bit. While he's up 1,700 gold on the opposing AD carry, he's now spent almost half of that in getting some defensive stats. So Reckless, just by doing that, has kind of caught up in damage in a way.
Reckless sniffing that he's in danger there. Little Balls tried to sneak into the bush. And you can also see that just up the side there, I believe, sitting in the tri-bush. Fnatic actually pushing the pace here. Reckless also making his way up. Suddenly Taipei Assassins realize they need to react to this one. They didn't have the minion wave to tank it up. They could try and catch someone out. It's here, Rated already putting the ward down. Is he going to land the hook? Will it be BB?
Oh,
BB's going to go for it. No, didn't quite land it there. We saw what they wanted to try, but it wasn't quite the case, and Fnatic back away from it.
And you saw all of TPA were actually holding that, like hugging that base wall to try to stay farther away from the Blitzcrank hook the entire time. They've actually caught up with BB here. They might. Oh, they found a ward, did they?
They did see a ward, but they did a St. Vicious and ignored it.
I don't know, they might almost catch Stanley. He's just across the wall there. They won't spot him. However, TPA has good vision, and they know where Fnatic is right here.
Taipei Assassins completely aware of it. It's Toys they hooked in, and Toys is going to get burst down so quickly. Reckless managing to pick up that kill. Mistake, they turn the damage on. Mistake gets dropped. It's a double kill. Can he get the triple kill? Yes, he will. It's Soaz the manager to dive onto that one, and again leaps in there, and it's a triple kill for Reckless. That is the turnaround that Reckless needed. Fnatic turning it on against the Season 2 World Champions.
And you can see them just hopping away. So many jumps in that game. They're able to completely snowball those fights. And while N-Rated hasn't been hitting the best hooks all game, he's getting the good flash grabs. That was the perfect target to get, was Twisted Fate. Almost gets Stanley there as well, and this team is happy to go for Baron here. I don't possibly see Cyanide getting outsmited here by a top laner.
No, actually, it's forcing them to back away, though.
Oh, man.
Wow, Fnatic. Well, they are pretty low, and I don't think they really had the damage. They're only at level 10, you see, that 23 minutes in, there's a few of them.
They know Toys could show up, too. If they stick around too long, they get aced.
They would certainly get aced, and that's not what they wanted. They've just managed to turn their advantage on. So let's look at the item builds across the board, Freak.
All right, so we see Reckless catching up a little bit. You can see he's still behind Graves, but you can see, so you've got BF Sword and a Phantom Dancer versus Bloodthirster Phantom Dancer. Now, the good thing about Vayne is you don't necessarily need tons of attack damage because you have so much damage through Silver Bolts. Still, you're going to consider that Graves is ahead here. For the mid laners, you've got 69 flat magic penetration here from Katarina, and a Zhonya's completed, so a lot of damage and enough durability to survive hardcore engagements versus a like half-completed Toys. He's got cooldown reduction, he's got a little bit of ability power. He doesn't quite have Lich Bane. He's like 800 gold away from being really threatening, and then another 3,000 gold from his next major item, so he's got a lot of room to grow. Meanwhile, TPA, they've got double Aegis. That's huge. They're so tanky in the front line. They've got a great meat wall.
PK trying to get on towards BB there and putting the damage on towards that turret. That turret is nearly gone. Meanwhile, they do clear it out. Just a couple more shots will finish it off. So as on that top turret, though, just leaping away from Stanley. Doesn't want any of it. The rest of Fnatic are actually reacting to this, going towards the top. The PK will not be there. PK going down towards that bottom. Can they catch around on towards Stanley? They do take that top turret down. That's going to even things off. It's 2-2 in turrets. But the rest of Taipei Assassins are actually following down, protecting that blue buff. That means Stanley completely on his own. That top in the turret could be in danger.
That's almost definitely Fnatic's. They try to go for the pull onto Stanley. And remember that P.E.K.K.A has Summoner Teleport. So if Fnatic buys those 3 seconds or 3.5 seconds for the teleport to complete, that's going to be all it takes to get their star carry up into that top lane. But you can see they're ignoring him at the bottom. He's able to get free farm and push through, gain levels and items. And this is huge. This is right now the P.E.K.K.A show.
This is the P.E.K.K.A show. It's 4-2. He's got that Zhonya's Hourglass, of course. Don't forget. So if he does get caught out, he may be able to get the reset down. And he does teleport back. So again, picks up another blasting wand. And Toys, he's going to have to start getting his move on here. He hasn't had a chance really to motor on. That teleport from PK seems to have just counteracted him every step of the way. Yeah,
and it's because the way these two champions sort of work is Toys will show up and he'll make one kill happen, and he'll be able to he'll be really good at pinching down and making sure that one champion dies. But then he doesn't have nearly the same kind of persistent damage output. Whereas P.E.K.K.A, when he shows up, he's showing up to these 2-on-2, these 3-on-3 ganks. After the first kill, his cooldowns come back and he's able to snowball ahead. So they've ganked an equal number of times, but P.E.K.K.A can contribute more.
Cyanide takes down another ward. You can see Fnatic stepping it up. That mid turret is not very high on hit points, so they have to be careful. I don't think they can even fight for this one, honestly. As soon as Fnatic gets the next wave, no, they're just going to tank it straight through. Reckless gets the turret down. 190 CS to 219 for the two ADs, 259 to 240, and more importantly, 515 for PK as they head towards the Dragon. They're going to pick that one up. They're leaving Stanley to free farm in that top lane. Not too sure how much that's going to make a difference. He's going towards that. Is it going to be the Wit's End or the Ionic Spark?
You know, it's hard to call right now. I mean, Ionic Spark is the I want to split push item, and Wit's End is the I need a little more durability item. It seems to me that what TPA needs right here is a way to stall this game and make something happen by splitting up the Fnatic team. I'd say split push. I'd say Ionic Spark here. So
looking like Soaz has immediately gone off to react to that one. The danger is here for Taipei Assassins, the fact that they have been caught, and Rated's flash is back up. They've got to be careful. If Toys or BB shows himself just a little too much, I expect N-Rated to flash in there and hook someone straight in. They have the burst damage to just pop them instantly if they do manage to catch it. As it is, Fnatic seem quite happy to just continue farming here. You can see the gold advantage slowly but surely building as well. At 10-6 kill, 5-2 in turrets. They have around about 4K in gold. So Fnatic currently sitting very pretty in this first game.
And the one thing to think about with gold counts is a team with Twisted Fate always has a sort of artificially higher gold count. Everything that you last hit, including wards, is worth 2 extra gold when you have Twisted Fate on your team. And when you look at that team, they've got 800 and something minions. That's another 1,600 gold that team has just for having Twisted Fate. So that 4,000 gold, I mean, it's still a real 4,000 gold lead, but as far as like effort made, it's more like 6,000 gold. Fnatic is doing exceptionally well here.
And there is the Infinity Edge complete by Reckless. Reckless now they're going to be looking for the kills. Now they're going to be looking for the damage. They have the item spike that they've been looking for. And you can see already with a stack of wards, they're heading in towards Taipei Assassin's jungle and seeing if they can make anything happen. PK's got to be careful. He doesn't get caught out, though. And actually,
he's the one guy who needs to stay alive.
It's Mistake I worry about. Mistake kind of off on his own at the moment, just up towards the top there. And you can see spotting on the ward, trying to get that Baron ward down, and N-Rated with overdrive, desperately trying to catch on to him. The Rupture comes through, he lands. That's going to be the hook. Mistake is in trouble. Then Oracle Burn straight away, drop down there. Cyanide feasting on him. And that is going to be the support down. 4v5. What will they push? What will they take from this advantage? Stanley with that Ionic Spark. Hasma trying to push it in that bottom lane, trying to create some pressure, which means it's now going to be a 3v5. Lil Ball's possibly the target. You can see Soaz leaping straight in there. It's BB they're going for. The hook comes in. The flash just missing out, though. The Ignite was down, but Fnatic trying to create an advantage. They realize that Stanley down there. Are they going to react to this one, or are they just going to go straight for Baron? Maybe they're going to have to back off and deal with it. Stanley's going to get that bottom turret.
You're right. They have to just run backwards towards Stanley, and the difficulty is he can always just stand united back if he feels threatened too much. Toys has Destiny. He can reveal who's coming down here. And he's got a pretty good dueling situation. He's so tanky. I don't see easy kills from Pekka. There's the taunt. He's going to run backwards. I don't know. I'd be surprised if Pekka could kill him.
Well, the rest of Fnatic could follow him through here. He's managed to strip half his hit points they are. You can see Fnatic starting to rotate around. Actually, they're catching on towards Lil Balls. They're making sure he doesn't get involved in the fight. Lil Balls has just been hooked. Meanwhile, you can see around the side there. So Lil Balls is just going to catch him. The Rupture comes down. Toys is about to join in, but it's going to be too little, too late. Stan United comes out. It's not going to be enough. That's going to be a kill for Peke down the bottom there. So that's going to be Stanley down as well. Fnatic with a teleport. Here comes PK. PK joins the party. BB with a collateral damage. Tries to take down as many as he can. PK getting stun carded out there. Toys going to get caught. Oh, has to flash out of the Rupture stun card back up. Tries to dodge out there. PK doesn't want to follow into it. They have the advantage, though. It's a 5v2. Will they push on? Will they back off? No. Soaz got a little bit greedy there. Tried to jump on towards Toys. Fnatic continuing on here. The rest of the team backing off. They haven't got the hit points. They have to back away.
Yeah, they know they're only against two members of the enemy team, but they've got to think about revive timers. I've seen so many games end because a team got aggressive and the other team picked out a comeback Baron because they all revived and had full health. Fnatic needs to make sure they don't make that mistake. You're seeing a lot of them start to come back. Invade is going to respawn. Reckless needs to heal pretty soon. Oh my gosh, Soaz just finding people off on the map, picking up kills. And look at that, he gets the jump back and hops right over the wall.
And just absolutely jumping around the map now. He's got the damage, and that's dangerous territory for Mistake. Problem is, they picked up, what, 2-3 kills in there, but they still lost the turret at the bottom.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Taipei Assassins needs to keep this game on their side, is really, really good split pushing. It's not easy for Fnatic to chase him down. You did see Pekka get that kill. I was wrong. Pekka chased him down throughout the map.
Oh, the hook on Stanley. Absolutely amazing hook there. And actually, PK, he's like, I didn't want this hook. Here comes Toys. Toys is going to pick up a stack of gold. PK is going to go down. He's got no one he can shun Po to. That was a hook created by N-Rated that they did not want. And that actually may put them in dangerous trouble now because they got their main AP carry down. The man that got all that damage. Taipei Assassin's going to try and turn this one. Soaz just lingering off in that bush there. It's BB he's going to jump towards. Does manage to try and drive them away from that turret. The rest of Fnatic now regrouping. The hook comes wildly out there from N-Rated. They continue the damage. Toys is just waiting with that stun card. Is he going to land on someone? You can see Soaz coming back in. The Rupture lands. Soaz is now the target. Stanley jumps in there, and Soaz has to jump away. The rest of Fnatic, though, they've bought them time for PK to come back in around about 15 seconds. Fnatic may save this turret. Giving up an inner turret, an outer turret, sorry, is not too deadly, though.
It's gold, but as far as the map positioning is concerned, it's not the end of the world to lose this. They're still going to try to sit this one out. Cyanide has good area of effect. So does Soaz. You're seeing the minions fall down reasonably quickly, and you'll notice that TPA is worried because of the Blitzcrank. That's the main thing here. If they land any kind of decent crowd control, that Rock Grab's going to make someone die under the turret.
So let's see if Fnatic managed to play themselves into any more dangerous situations like that. That's how quick it turned around. I do recall a certain Stanley being grabbed by a Blitzcrank in the Season 2 finals as well. It's like, I've got one. Actually, it was Mac Noon, wasn't it? I've got one.
Yeah,
oh, it's the wrong
still
one.
Killed it, though.
Yeah,
they still caught him.
In the Baron pit, but N-Rated putting himself in a little bit of danger. I don't think PK would have thanked him too much for that one. Toys, though, farming out quite quickly. Toys picking up a heck of a lot of damage here as well. He's building up towards, I guess, the Rabadon's Death Camp will follow that Lich Bane. He's going there. There's a ward going down. Cyanide's going to pick that one up.
Nice job, nice job. And
he's picked up a lot of wards with that Oracle.
He has. He hasn't died in a very, very long time. He died very early on, and he stopped dying pretty immediately afterwards. Cyanide, again, finding another ward. And this is actually really, really big for Fnatic. They don't have great turret killing, so they want to get into fights, but they can't get into fights under turrets easily, so they want to bait out things like Baron. Yeah,
they're forcing the Baron here. PK actually in the mid lane. See if he gets distracted them enough. Stanley hasn't come up yet. We'll wait for that Stan United to get used. They picked up the Baron so quickly. Mistake gets caught out. I don't think they were quite expecting the speed there, and that is going to be a quick Baron picked up by Fnatic. What can they do with it? They're stacking it towards the middle. Stanley is still down that bottom lane. He can just Stan United back here, but it's going to be a 4v5. No support. That means the armor bonus that you're going to get off Tarek is missing.
Yeah, but this is a kind of thing that Fnatic can easily siege. They can probably even dive it with the Baron buff there. Soaz slows the entire team, and they're going to jump immediately onto the turret. And TPA cannot fight without probably even 5 members of the team. They're going to let Stanley keep splitting because they know even if he shows up, they won't be able to fight here. But Fnatic, they're looking to end the game. They've got 10 seconds to mistake revives.
They need to get back now. Stanley has to react to this one because they're going to get a Nexus turret down. They could get one. Oh, that hook on Toys was just ever so close. Reckless, though, continuing on towards the turret. The damage coming out. There's one turret down, and that's going to be PK getting his ultimate off. It's going to be one down. His BB gets dropped. Mistake comes back, and he's been taken down by Reckless. Soaz leaps across the Toys. The hook comes in. Soaz takes down Toys. They're back on the Nexus turret. It's going to be the Nexus down. Fnatic, the Season 1 champions, take Game 1 against the Taipei Assassins. The first game I've seen the Taipei Assassins lose in a long, long time.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What a performance here. Fnatic coming on strong. And would you look at their tournament history so far? Would you look at the history? They beat Azubu Blaze. They came through. They took out TPA 1-0 so far. I don't think people consider these guys to be a contender for the throne here, but they're looking like a contender for the #1 spot here at IPL 5.
And they have grins on their faces, and so they should. What a fantastic performance. Such a young team as well coming into this one. Reckless, just a 16-year-old in that bottom lane. The pressure was on him. He was really being targeted at the start. They thought maybe we could put the pressure on him, but they didn't counter for PK. PK reacted, got that 2 kills at the start, which was such a big start for them. I think it was around about level 2 or 3. He got 2-0-1.
Yeah. Early on, definitely, they went for that 2-on-1, the 3-on-1 dive. They even brought Twisted Fate up. And you know, we've seen this be a repeated theme over and over as the players learn the game better, the teams learn the game better. 2-on-1 lanes, there's 2 ways to play it. You either fully zone, or you get to their turret, and your jungler shows up and you gank him. And we've seen that work very well just as a 3-on-1 and a quick kill. Now we've seen people, the jungler will show up and counter-gank that, making it a 3-on-2, and that goes kind of both places. As the players get better, they're like, we'll bring our mid up and make it a 4-on-2. That's ours for sure. And then here comes Xpeka with the summoner teleport. They let Soaz die, but they get the reset, 3 kills picked up. And you'll just see the teams get better and better at these kinds of moves. And I also just love the confidence of bringing Summoner Teleport. It weakens your 1v1 fight chances in lane, but you use it to snowball in the other sides of the map. You give up a couple minions, but you make fights happen elsewhere. And that was, I mean, the linchpin of that game was Summoner Teleport.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. So, Game 1 of the Season 2 World Finals, Taipei Assassins lost to Azubu Frost.
Yeah.
They came back and they were dominant. Fnatic need to take note of that because there's not many teams that take games off Taipei Assassins. Singapore Sentinels took 1 game off the Taipei Assassins. They came back and won 3-1.
So I actually heard a story